Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing today? It is Monday afternoon at 2:52 p.m. I'm gonna pull you guys a little bit closer. And I am having to, well, I'm choosing to film the vlog early today because we have marriage counseling at 5 o'clock tonight, which we usually have it at 6 o'clock, which means I have to get my Uber at 4 o'clock, which means I have to start getting ready in about 45 minutes. So, and I am currently rendering my drama channel, so in about 10 minutes I'm going to go inside and start uploading it on my phone so that I can get that done in time before I leave. I've already got my thumbnail made, and it's a priceless thumbnail. It's fantastic. You know, I put lots of effort into my thumbnails. I love when I talk to people and they're like, I just spent 3 hours on a thumbnail, and I'm like, yeah, that's probably the problem with my videos. It's probably why I don't get a lot of views on my videos, because I put about 3 minutes into a thumbnail. But anyway, I'm in a great mood today. I got really good sleep last night, watched a great TV show last night, which I'm gonna talk about in just a second. But before I do, oh, there's a bumblebee over here. Can you guys hear this bumblebee? It's a big fat bumblebee going around to all of my flowers. Before I do, I just want to say that the last couple days I have made comments about some negative comments that I've received and things like that, you know? I don't want that to overshadow, and especially because I make a lot of comments about other YouTubers that only focus on the negative. It's one of the things that really irritates me, but I don't want that to overshadow. Well, for example, the comment about the addiction, like, I really felt like I needed to address that because I think, as most of you know, my addiction and my recovery is paramount to my life. It's something that is profound to me. It's something that is, it's a priority. It's number one in my life. And so when people come for my recovery, like, that's not a joke for me. Like, it's not just a trolling comment or a hate comment. It's like, it's rather disgusting to me. So I felt like I really needed to address that in a video. That's not just kind of like, you know, a negative comment. Most of the negative comments, and I have to say, honestly, like, I'm very lucky or blessed, I don't know, like, I just don't get tons and tons of negative comments. I really don't. On any of my channels, I don't, you know? And I don't really know why that is. I mean, most YouTubers, I think, get their fair share of negative comments. Like, even when people disagree with my opinion about things, which that happens quite a bit on my drama channel, you know, people still say things in really nice ways. So I don't want the fact that I've brought attention to some negative comments to overshadow my gratitude for how blessed I feel for all the love and the support that I get. I feel so incredibly blessed that I have been doing this now for 6.5 years, or 7 years, you know, on BookTube, and that the reception has been, I would say, I mean, I've had my low parts as well, but the reception overall has been really positive, and I don't really know what that's about. You know, years and years ago, Alex and I interviewed Johnny Boy XO, that was a YouTuber at the time, and we asked her, we said, you know, why do you think, her channel was like thriving and she was doing really well, and we said, this was like 10 or 15 years ago, and we said, why do you think people are so attracted to your channel? And she said, I think people know that real knows real. And, you know, like, that's all I've ever really tried to do on my channels, especially this one, is just be myself and be authentically who I am and share stories of my life, and those people out there that relate to it, and those that don't, and just the chips fall where they may, you know, and like, and I know that. And so, I think that's just what I've always tried to do, and I feel blessed, because I think there are a lot of people out there that are just like, oh, like, you know, like, oh, like I want to do my front porch like that, or I want to have a coffee like that, or I love Peter telling stories about his mom, or, you know, like I'm trying to get sober too, and, you know, like I'm really struggling with grief as well, or I've had medical issues, and thank you, you know, for talking about it so openly. And that's just really what I've tried to do, is just like share my life, you know, online. And I feel so incredibly blessed, as do my friends and family, because, you know, like I think people know by now that Caroline loves being on video, you know, and you know, people are just so receptive to Alex and Caroline and Tanya and everybody in my life. You know, they're just like, you know, like I get so many comments that people are like, you know, snuggle with Alex and Boo tonight and whatever. And in fact, actually, Renee just sent me a DM on Twitter because she was like, I hope this will cheer you up. And it was that the Guinness Book of World Records had just awarded the world's oldest dog to a dog in Portugal that turned 31. And I get little DMs like that, you know, like I think a lot of other YouTubers get DMs about like crazy stuff. Like I get DMs about the world's oldest dog, you know, or like funny little memes or pictures of mice that are illustrated. And that like makes me so happy. Like I just feel so blessed, you know, and I never knew that this is what my world would be like. But in talking about that, Amanda sent me a video, and a lot of people send me videos like this, and she sent it to me on Instagram, and I asked her if I could share it. And so I want to share this video with you guys because this is where I feel truly blessed to do what I do on a daily basis. Like, I don't know, I just feel so blessed. And so she put this video together, and she sent it to me on Instagram, and so I want to share it with you guys. And like I said, I asked her if I could share it, and she said yes. So here we go. Hold on, let me.
Hey Peter, just wanted to make a quick video for you all the way from Eastern Kentucky. I know you've been going through a lot lately, and you're having some struggles, and I just wanted to reach out and say that you have a lot of love and prayers going up right here in Eastern Kentucky for you. And you helped me through a lot of hard times, whether you know that or not. So I just hope you know that there are so many of us out there praying for you. And just take it day by day, because that's all that we're doing in this life, is taking it one day at a time. And I just continue to pray for you to get strength and get back to yourself. And just know I love your videos. I love your vlogs. Your nighttime vlogs actually inspired me to redo my little porch out here in the middle of nowhere. And this is where I watch my Peter vlogs. So every time you make...
So anyway, and it cut off right there, but what do I do to deserve that, you know? And that's just one, you guys, of like many videos that I've been sent or comments that I've received. And God, people are just so nice. You know, there was even like a post in the Vloggerinos group that somebody said, of course something to the effect of course we want Peter back, but we want him to be as well as possible, and basically encouraging me to take off as much time as I need. And I just want to say, I said this in my drama video a couple days ago, but it really means a lot to me, because on days that I'm not feeling great, like today I'm really tired and I have a lot going on, you know, and so I was like, well, I'm just going to film a drama video and a vlog, and I don't beat myself up about it now, you know, because people are so encouraging and so supportive of it. And before I would have been like, oh my God, I need to film 4 or 5 videos today, you know, and if I wake up tomorrow and I feel like filming 4 or 5 videos, and tomorrow I have a little bit of a more free time, so I feel like I can do that. And this girl's walking the most adorable dog in the world. But you know, then I'll do that. Then I'll film 4 or 5 videos, or I'll film 1 video, or I won't film any videos at all, and not beat myself up about it. And I don't know, I feel so incredibly grateful for all of you, and I just want you to know that, and how much you all mean to me. And yeah, so cheers to all of you out there, and thank you for watching my videos, because if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't get to get up every single day and do something that I absolutely love, you know, and it was funny because last night, like, I knew which video I was going to make for my drama channel. I knew I was going to do the Shane Dawson video. A lot of people had asked me to watch this Steve-O interview that he had done on this podcast, Steve-O's podcast. And so, like, I watched it, and I was, like, taking notes while I watched it. And it kind of reminded me a little bit of, like, the old days of, like, doing drama. Like, I really got into, like, watching this interview and taking notes and stuff like that. And I got really excited about it. And I was like, oh, this is really fun. Like, and I'm kind of, like, getting back into that again, you know, where I'm starting to physically feel better. So, yeah. So, anyway, I'm going to go and I'm going to start uploading this video, and I will be right back. Okay, I'm back. Video is uploading, and now I just get to relax and talk to you guys. So happy Mother's Day to all of you out there, to all of you mothers and fur baby mothers and mother figures out there. I talked about this in my drama video that I just did, so if you want to hear me talk about my mom and stuff, I threw up some pictures, because I put pictures up on my Instagram story yesterday. So I put pictures up on my drama video as well of my mom, but you know, it's interesting, like, my mom's death date is not something that I celebrate. I have friends of mine that celebrate their parents' death date, and they'll, you know, go out to lunch or go to the grave, you know, the grave site and things like that. But that's not something that I typically do. I've never really felt a connection to my mom's gravesite. Before my mom passed away, she said to me, do not get attached to my body. I'm just a bag of soul. And, like, as soon as she was gone, and I'm so thankful that she said that, because as soon as she was gone, I kind of just disconnected immediately, and I knew that she was somewhere else. And even kind of felt like she had been somewhere else for quite some time, you know, because she was in a coma. But, like, I don't ever really feel anything spiritual. I mean, I go out there from time to time, but, like, I don't ever feel anything very spiritual. One of my best friends, her mom, is buried about 15 feet in front of my mom. And we used to go out there quite a bit together. She doesn't live here anymore. She lives in Oakland now. But, and her mom died about 1.5 years before my mom did. And I just don't feel any, like, real connection out there, you know? And so it's weird because I think a lot about my mom, like, on her birthday. And I think a lot about my mom like on my birthday, or just on, you know, like on holidays, like Christmas and Thanksgiving and Easter. My mom loved Easter. It was like her favorite holiday. So I was thinking of my mom, like, on Easter, you know? But I don't think of her on her death date. Like, I mean, I think of her, but I don't celebrate it or do anything special, and I don't, like, pull out the pictures and whatever. I think this year it affected me in kind of a hard way because it landed on Mother's Day. And I think Mother's Day, the year that my mom passed away, was before she passed, because I can remember her being in the hospital and my aunt asking me if I wanted to come over and be with them for Mother's Day. And I said no, I just wanted to be alone. And it might have been Easter, but I think it was Mother's Day. And so, and I really, to be honest with you, like a lot of people reached out to me and they said, I know Mother's Day is really, really hard for you and whatever. My mom loved Mother's Day. And I was telling my neighbor this yesterday. It's like, she came over here and was sitting here talking to me, and my mom loved Mother's Day. And we always did something special for Mother's Day. We went to the art museum a couple years and had picnics, and she made homemade potato salad, and I brought food, and, you know, we had, you know, lemonade in big bottles, and you know, or I'd come over here and we'd sit on the back patio and have something. I mean, we always did something special for Mother's Day, and I always got her some really nice gift. And like, my mother would have been absolutely crushed if I hadn't done something for her for Mother's Day. And in fact, I have a friend of mine who her kids didn't really do much for her for Mother's Day, and it really breaks my heart. I think she's a fantastic mother. I think she's one of the greatest she's a mother figure to me, and she's one of the greatest mothers I've ever known, and it hurts my soul for her, you know. And her one son took her out to dinner, but like I texted her yesterday and I was like, what are you doing? And she's like, nothing. And I don't know, it just really made me sad. But I think, like, Mother's Day really, it's weird. Like, other than that first year, when my mom was in the hospital and she was sick, like, maybe the Mother's Day after that, I don't really remember. I can remember being kind of, like, a little selfish, like, feeling like I don't have a mother, so if I don't want to do anything, I don't have to. But, you know, I remember, like, I started dating Alex in August after my mom died. And then, like, every Mother's Day after that, we always took her out to eat somewhere. And I remember we took her to this breakfast buffet one time, or lunch buffet at this, like, Mexican restaurant that, like, really nice Mexican. It was like a champagne buffet, and she loved that. And we used to take her to Patashu every year, you know, and everybody would get dressed up nice. And his mother loves Mother's Day, too. And she, you know, she's not here right now. So we didn't, but we used to always do something for her. And I think, like, I love my mother-in-law so much that it was like I was able to give something to her that I couldn't give to my mom anymore. And so that seemed special to me. And I felt blessed, you know, to be able to do that. So I don't know, like, Mother's Day really doesn't, like, I don't get super sad on Mother's Day. I think yesterday I was kind of, like, down in the dumps a little bit because it was surreal to me that, and this can't be the first time that it's happened, but maybe it is, I don't know, that Mother's Day has landed on the day that my mom passed away. I don't know, it just is weird to me. So I was kind of having a rough day yesterday, thinking about stuff. And I, like, went to bed early enough on Saturday night to get up yesterday. Alex was going to his aunt's house for breakfast at 8 o'clock in the morning. And I set my alarm for 7, and I really was, like, struggling Saturday night, like, sleeping, like, falling asleep. And I was just, like, in my head. And so he actually woke up, like, late. He woke up, like, at 8 o'clock. And he was like, do you want to go? And I was like, I'm just not feeling it. And he was like, babe, it's okay. Don't worry about it. He was like, I'm just going to be there for a little bit. And so I didn't go. And I was kind of sad. I, like, missed out on, you know, whatever. But we ended up going to brunch that afternoon, and which was nice. I was just really in my head yesterday a lot about my mom and thinking about my mom and also about my aunt. And really missing my mom and my aunt a lot yesterday. Which is weird because, like I said, it doesn't really happen to me on Mother's Day. I don't know. Maybe it was just because it was, like, the combination of both of them. And I think also, like, Caroline and I were talking about this. I mean, it's been 15 years. You know, 15 years is a really long time. My mom's been gone for a long time. And like I said, you know, my grieving has changed a lot in 15 years. It's like, I felt really, really numb the first couple years that she was gone. Numb and angry. And then I just would get sad. And I would, you know, have a lot of memories, and I would just, you know, pull over on the side of the road and listen to some music would come on, like Bob Dylan or something, and I would just, like, listen to it and think about my mom. And then it was kind of like, it just kind of, like, faded, you know. I can remember, like, in the early years, like, wanting to call and tell her something on the phone, and then realizing, like, you know, in a heartbeat that I can't pick up the phone and call her. And those are, I think that, like, the not being able to pick up the phone and call her was one of the hardest things ever. But then it just kind of passed over time. I honestly think, like, one of the things that helped me the most, which is crazy because I've only been doing this for, like, 6 years now, is that first year or two of my vlog, I told so many stories of my mom, and I talked about her, like, so much, that I think it was like I really didn't have anybody else to tell those stories to. You know, Alex didn't know my mom, and Caroline and I weren't hanging out as much back then, and so there wasn't really anybody, like, I mean, Tanya knew my mom, but, like, we would tell stories, you know, back and forth about our parents and whatever, but I didn't really have anybody to like tell these long extended stories or whatever to, you know, and so to get on the vlog and just be able to talk for 20 or 30 minutes and tell a story about my mom was so helpful to me to kind of like process the past. And I even remember like going through a period, I think it might have been when my aunt and uncle died, but I said something about like who would know my past. I don't know if you guys remember that. If you've watched my vlog for a long time, you probably remember me talking about that. But like I was really going through a tough time where I was like, well, who knows my history? Who knows my past, you know? My dad is not somebody that loves to go down memory lane. He has a couple memories that he likes to tell, kind of funny kind of memory stories and stuff like that. But like he's not somebody that like wants to be on the phone for 20 minutes talking about memories. Like that's not, he doesn't enjoy that. So now my stepmom, she is a little bit more, but I mean, it's not like I'm gonna call my stepmom and we're gonna like, you know, have memory lane about my mom. Although she knew my mom too, you know, but so I think for me to be able to get on the vlog and tell all these stories about my mom was so helpful to me and really helped me grieve. And I also talked a lot about it in meetings. You know, I talked a lot about being angry in meetings and being angry at God, you know, like God took away the one person that I was the closest with in my entire life and I didn't really understand it, which is such an irrational anger, you know, but I think I had to go through that emotion. It's interesting when you talk about the 5 stages or the 6 stages of grief. I think they've added one now, but like bargaining or something, but like, I didn't really go through all of them, and I didn't really go through them the way, and my mom so believed in them, because my mom, when she did my mom's one of her master's degrees, she wrote her thesis on bereavement, because she had lost her dad when she was 4. And so she did this whole study on childhood development related to bereavement and how kids are affected by their parents dying. And my mom was, you know, she would talk to me like when I was in junior high and high school about Elizabeth Kubler-Ross and the 5 stages of grief. And I think Elizabeth Kubler-Ross's book was called On Death and Dying, and she had me read it like in high school and stuff like that. Like my mom was like really into all of that. And then I took a class in college on death and dying and learning about all kinds of stuff, and was super interesting. I remember like learning about why we call the living room and all this kind of stuff. Like I remember all of that. And but it's weird that my mom so believed in all of that, and yet I don't know that I necessarily feel like I went through those stages of grief. I almost kind of feel like I went through them. Like when my mom got sick and went into a coma, like I started going through the stages of grief then, because I kind of knew she wasn't gonna make it. I knew, I had a moment, and I don't remember now when it was. I've talked about it on here before. If I could go back and see the video, I probably would remember better, but I don't remember now. But I had a moment when I went home and I was laying in bed and I was just sobbing, and I really felt like my grandmother was there, and I knew my mom wasn't gonna make it, and I kind of felt like my grandma was talking to me and she was like, you're gonna have to be strong through this. It was like such a weird moment. And but like my mom, like when she was in the coma, and she did not look good. I mean, she was on dialysis and she did not look great, and I think I just kind of knew that she wasn't going to make it. I just kind of had this feeling that either she wasn't going to make it or things were never going to be... I knew she wasn't going to come out of this and it was going to return to how it had been before. And so I think I went through kind of some of the stages of grief then, which I think maybe might have been why I was so numb when she finally did pass. I just was like... I don't know that I really knew what to think. I remember walking out of the hospital that night. So they left me in the room with my mom by myself. My aunt kind of went berserk, like when my mom passed, and she was like saying to the nurse, like, where does she go now? Where does she go now? And the nurse was like, well, we take her downstairs, you know, like, basically to the morgue, I guess. I don't know. But, and my aunt was like, I have to go with her. Like, she can't be alone. I have to go with her. Like, my aunt, like, was kind of, like, delusional, like, losing it. And so my uncle, like, pulled her out of the room and was like, let Peter have, like, some time with her alone and whatever. And so, like, everybody left. Like, we had some family friends that were in there, and this couple that were really good friends of my mom and my aunts. And then another one of my mom's friends was there. And then two of my good friends were there, and my aunt and uncle. And everybody, like, left. And I stayed in there for, like, another 5 or 10 minutes. And I remember just, like, holding my mom's hand and having this moment where I thought, like, there would be something transcendent that would happen, like trumpets blaring, angels appearing, you know, whatever. Like, I could actually, like, feel, like, the soul leaving. And I remember thinking that none of that happened. And, like, we're born, we live, and we die. And, you know, it's like life is what we put in it in the middle, and it's up to us. And I can remember really thinking that, like, really getting in that moment that, like, it's between us and God. And, like, our life is about what we put in it, what we do. I don't think I've ever felt more alone than I felt like in that moment with my mom. But I knew she was gone. Like, I knew. And I'm such a believer in an afterlife. Like, I knew she was somewhere else. But I had parked in the parking garage, and I can remember walking out there and getting in my car. And it was, like, such a warm night. And I can remember, like, blasting on the way home, like, Mr. Tambourine Man by Bob Dylan, and smoking a cigarette. Just, like, talking to my mom out loud. And, like, I kind of didn't know what to do with myself, you know, like, when I got home. It's the weirdest feeling in the whole world. And I think, like, she can be gone 30 years, but, like, it's so weird because I get so many comments from people, and they'll be like, your mom would be so proud of you, and, like, she's still watching down on you, and all this kind of stuff. And it's like, okay, like, I get that, like, and I know that, like, I feel that, kind of. I don't think that until the day that I am gone from this earth that I'll ever not feel some kind of closeness to my mom, you know, like, or my dad for that matter, you know. It's like, I mean, they were the two people that were here from the moment that I was born, you know, and it's like, I don't know. It's so weird, like, in the condo, like, we've been here now 14 years, something like that, and I still, every once in a while, like, I walk in and I can smell her perfume. It's, like, the most bizarre thing. And I'm not, like, a believer, like, oh, that's spirit or anything like that. Like, I believe that's, like, somewhere, something lingering from her perfume that she probably sprayed 15 years ago, you know, like, it was funny because Susie came up the other day, like, when she picked me up, and she was like, your flowers look so pretty. She was like, your mom would love this. And I think to some degree, like, that's why I always, like, take so much pride, like, in my front porch. Like, my mom would love this. Like, I know that, you know. She would love that I sit out here and talk to my neighbors. Like, that would really make her happy. I can remember before my mom passed away, like, years before that, she would say, you know, someday this will be your condo. And I'd say, I will never live in that condo in that old people's neighborhood. I will never live there. Do you understand me? Like, I'm not going to live in that condo. She'd say, oh, well, I'm going to finish the basement. Neither one of us ever did. I'm going to finish the basement, then you can move into the basement if you ever want. I'm like, I'm not moving into your basement, Mother. Like, that's not going to happen. Like, you know, you're a crazy person. Well, it'll be yours anyway someday. You can do whatever you want to do with it. I think about that, you know, and I think that she would be happy that Alex and I made a home out of it. You know, we made it into our own. And I think she would love how neighborly I am with everybody. And because she always wanted that. And I don't think she ever, like, there's several neighbors that she was friendly with. But I think there were a lot of neighbors that she didn't get along with, or that, you know, it's weird to think, God, I just realized this, that my mom was my age now when she moved into this condo. I don't know why that makes me upset. Because when she got sober, she was 51, and I'll be 51 in June, and she moved into this condo in December when she would have been 50, she had just turned 51. You know, I say this a lot to people in my personal life or people in meetings and stuff like that, but like, my mom got sober at 51, you know, and I think for a lot of people, they think like that's a lot older to get sober and whatever, and I have friends of mine today that are 60 and 70-year-olds that are getting sober, and it's like, it's never too late, you know, like, I mean, I had 12 years and 11 months with my mother sober that were fantastic, you know, and, if you're somebody out there that's thinking about it, no matter what age you are, it's never too late to get sober and change the direction of your life. Anyway, I love you, Mama. Last night, I was messaging my friend, and she was telling me about all these different documentaries to watch, The Imposter, and some other documentary called Tickle or something about this underground. I didn't care to watch that. So she told me about this new documentary on Netflix called Missing, Dead or Alive. So I started watching it last night. Well, I watched the newest episode of From, and it came out last night. It's so good. Oh my God, that show is so good. But, so I watched Missing, Dead or Alive. It's on Netflix. It's like #2 trending on like the top 10 in the United States. And it's about this missing persons investigation team out of the Richland Sheriff's Department in North Carolina, I think. And each episode, well, they kind of flow in, like, each episode kind of flows into the next of, like, missing people that they're trying to find. It is so good, you guys, because it kind of goes in and talks about, like, the investigators, too, and, like, their lives, and, like, how it affects them, like, trying to find these people and stuff. It's really, really good. There's only 4 episodes. I wish it was, like, 10 episodes, because it was so fantastic. But if you're looking for something good to watch, it's true crime. I would highly recommend that. Tanya said she can't watch From unless Eric is at home because she gets too scared. She said it's too scary for her. So, I watched that and then I went to bed. I've been having, like, this is something that Alex struggles with and has always since we've been together, and I have never struggled with this before, but I'm having it now, and that is restless leg syndrome. Like, I've never had it before where my legs, like, jerk and, like kind of hurt at night, and, like, Alex has always had it, like, ever since we've been together. Like, he, like, kicks in his sleep and has, like, you know, restless legs. My legs have been driving me crazy, like, for, like, the last 2, and I wonder if it's a side effect of Keppra or whatever, because I've never had it before, like, never, but it's, like, keeping me up, and it's driving me crazy, so, I took melatonin, like, years ago, and I didn't ever feel like it helped. Like, I felt like you had to take it and then, like, lay down immediately, or, like, it wouldn't work, and so, I don't know, the last couple nights I've thought about, like, maybe trying to take, like, low doses of melatonin again. Sleepy time tea doesn't really do it for me anymore. It did for a little while. What happens is I lay down and then I'm just, like, spinning in my head. Just, like, you know, thinking and thinking and thinking. And so, I need to get out of my head. Alright, well, this is a little bit of a shorter vlog tonight. Hey! Her little dog is so cute. She's got a little wiener dog and it's got spots all over it. This is a little bit of a shorter vlog today, but I want to start getting ready so that I can get my Uber on time to get to marriage counseling. And then we'll probably pick up some kind of dinner on the way home or something. I'm trying to think of something that is healthy for me. Actually, I have to tell you, I DoorDashed the other night. Was this Saturday night, maybe? I got a vegetarian wrap sandwich from Piata. and it had like hummus inside of it and like arugula and onions. It was so delicious, so fantastic, and did not hurt my stomach. I haven't felt nauseous for the last 2 days, which is great improvement. Yesterday we went to Pat a Shoe and I had an omelet and I had a half a bagel. I only ate half the omelet and then I ate like half the bagel. Kept it down, didn't feel nauseous when I came home, and then last night I ate the other half of my sandwich from Piata and kept it down and didn't feel nauseous. So fingers crossed that things are getting better for me and changing. So yeah. All right, well, I watered all my plants last night and then it rained. That's the story of my life. I like carried that jug out here. I actually timed it because I wanted to see how long it takes me like without a hose, which I just need to hook up the hose. But it took me, I think, like 7 minutes to like water all of my plants out here, including the fern. And then last night it like rained and I was like, I wouldn't have even had to water these plants. But anyway, I hope that you guys are having a magically amazing Monday. And if nobody else has told you this today, I love you. Remember these 3 very important things. 1, you can start your day over or your week over if you need to, anytime you want. 2, practice random acts of kindness, but shh, don't tell anyone. And 3, most importantly, make sure that you reach out to somebody and let them know how much they mean to you. Just like I showed you in Amanda's video, it could really put a smile on your face, change your day for the better, make you feel happier, make you feel more positive. Clean up your yard, make your patio nice, have a little place to watch my vlog at the end of the day like she did. Trust me, it makes a huge difference. I love my little, I only have like 3x3 and I love it out here, you know? And also, most importantly, be kinder to one another, love one another a little bit more, and most importantly, be kinder and love yourselves a little bit more. And I love you guys and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Love ya.